Hey, what's up y'all, I'm Charlie. On today's episode I'm going to be showing y'all how to make my homemade hamburger buns. Now this recipe calls for you to make about 8 hamburger buns. They're about 4 inches in diameter, so they're like medium size. And they're absolutely delicious. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, here's all what you'll need to make your homemade hamburger buns. Let's get started with our ingredients. You'll need some bread flour, salt, sugar, rapid rise instant yeast, salted butter, extra virgin olive oil, and optional white sesame seeds. And to bake your hamburger buns, you will need an 11 by 17 inch baking pan. And there we have it. Alright, so in our stand mixer bowl, we're going to add 3 1/4 cups of bread flour. You can also use all-purpose flour as well. And to that, we're going to add 2 teaspoons of instant yeast, 1/4 cup of sugar, and 1 1/2 teaspoons of salt. I'm going to just take my spoon. I'm just going to give this a quick stir. Alright, so in our stand mixer bowl fitted with the dough hook attachment, we're going to add 1 1/3 cups of warm water. Now the temperature of the water should be between 115 and 120 degrees Fahrenheit. And to that, here I have 2 tablespoons of melted salted butter and 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. Okay, and I mix that together. And I'm just going to go ahead and pour that in there. Now I'm going to mix this on a medium-low speed until this mixture forms a dough. Alright, now we let this mix for about 5 minutes, and as you can see, the dough doesn't stick to my hands. That's great. Even if the dough does stick to your hands, don't worry about it. We're going to add this on a flour surface anyway. Alright. Alright, now we're going to lightly flour the surface of our table. Now we're going to add the dough on top of the table. Alright, now we're just going to knead the dough. And we're going to knead this for about 2 minutes. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and let the dough rest for about 15 to 20 minutes. Alright, it's been about 20 minutes now. I'm going to just take my hands and I'm just going to press the dough down. I'm going to just form the dough into a ball. There we go. Alright, now I have to put a little flour underneath there so that way it won't stick or anything. Alright, so now this is where you're going to, your judgment skills are going to have to play a part here. So we're going to take a serrated knife and we're just going to cut this in half. Alright, good. So now we're going to form this into a ball. We're going to form this one into a ball as well. Make sure you take a little flour and just flour like that. There we go. Now we're going to take this half here and we're just going to cut it into quarter pieces. Alright, and this is it. We separate our dough into 8 single pieces of dough. Now I like to weigh my dough as well, just to make sure that everything is even. Now each piece of dough should weigh between 3.9 to 4 ounces. Alright, now I'm going to just lightly spread some butter along my baking pan. Now for this recipe, I'm going to be using 2 11 by 17 inch baking pans, simply because I just don't want the bread touching each other while they're rising, and even when I put them in the oven. So yeah, but you don't have to. You could just use 1, but for me I'm going to just use 2. Alright, now we're going to take each piece of dough and we're just going to form it into a ball. Now once you form the ball of dough, you could just go ahead and take it and place it into your baking pan, and from there you could just flatten it. Now I heated up my oven until it's warm. gonna just place these in here. And I'm gonna just let them rise. And once done, I'll let you know the rising time. Alright, our dough should be nice and risen. Now let's go ahead and remove it out of the oven. And I let this rise for about an hour in a warm oven. Here's the other one. Alright, and this is how our hamburger buns look after we've taken them out of the warm oven. And as you can see, they're nice and beautifully risen. Now I let these rise for 1 hour. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and preheat my oven to 400 degrees. Alright, now I've taken my sesame seeds and I placed them in this small 8 by 8 inch baking pan. And we're just gonna place them in the oven just to get them a little toasty, and then we'll move them out the oven. Then afterwards, we're going to add our hamburger buns. Alright, now I'm gonna go ahead and place this in a preheated 400 degree oven on the middle rack. And I'm gonna let y'all know the roasting time once it's done. Alright, let's go ahead and remove our sesame seeds from the oven. And we let this sit in here for about 2 to 3 minutes. You don't want to leave them in there for too long because they'll burn really quickly. Okay, now we're going to place our hamburger buns into a preheated 400 degree oven on the middle rack. And we're just gonna bake these until they're nice golden brown. And I'm gonna let y'all know the baking time once it's done. Alright, our hamburger buns should be done, so let's go ahead and get them out of the oven. Here's the other one. We let them bake for 20 minutes. Alright, now here I have 2 tablespoons of melted salted butter and 1 tablespoon of the olive oil. And I have a pastry brush. And we're just going to take that mixture and we're just going to brush that onto each hamburger bun. Just like that. Now we're going to sprinkle our toasted sesame seeds right on top. And I forgot to mention earlier that this is about 2 to 3 tablespoons of sesame seeds that we have in here. So just sprinkle that on top. And that's it, we're done. Now you're gonna let this cool completely before serving. And there y'all have it, ladies and gentlemen. Homemade hamburger buns, made from scratch. Alright, now it's time to go ahead and take a bite. Now this is how the inside looks. It's soft and fluffy. It's real toasty. You can taste the sesame seeds on there. It's really good. Only thing you need now is some ground beef, lettuce, tomato, pickles, some mayonnaise, mustard, and ketchup, and you got yourself a wonderful hamburger. Give the recipe a try. Hey y'all, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like my channel, hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell button if you want to be notified of my videos. I have an official website for all of my recipes, including this fabulous homemade hamburger bun recipe. You can go to www.charliethecookandrews.com. I'm also on Facebook and on Instagram under the name Charlie the Cook Andrews. So, until next time, take care, and I hope you all have a great day. Peace.